Hi everyone, my name is Yiren. Welcome to my presentation, reVISit supporting scalable evaluation of interactive visualizations. Empirical study is a research approach that involves building and launching experiments, gathering and analyzing data to gain insights. In modern data visualization research, many empirical studies have interactive stimuli, various question types, and a complex experiment flow, which makes building a solid experiment more time-consuming. For a complete empirical study, the first step is design and implement your experiment. The experiment usually includes stimuli, experiment flow, data management, and deployment. Then, with this experiment, researchers could recruit the participants and collect the data. Then, researchers could run the data analysis on the dataset. Some commercial tools can be used to build and deploy experiments. However, these commercial tools make setup hard to ensure for replication. They support very limited stimuli types, and there are no end-to-end toolkits for building experiments. So we proposed reVISit, which is envisioned to be an end-to-end visualization experiment support framework. The reVISit will provide the toolkit for low-code experiment building with handful integrated features, such as provenance tracking. The reVISit also will provide tools for experiment debugging and data analysis. Let's start with the study specification. Here, I use this empirical study for adjacent metrics as an example. It is a part of the study for evaluating multivariate network visualization. In this study, it has a fixed flow with multiple stages. First, it is an introduction page that introduces the experiment to the participants. Then a consent page that need participants to sign. Next would be a training video to teach participants how to read the charts and complete tasks. Next, it comes to the main study stage, which consists of a series of tasks with questions participants are required to answer. At last, it is a post-study demographic survey. By using reVISit, researchers don't have to write all this from scratch. They can use our JSON-style domain-specific language to describe each component, and reVISit will render the page by these specifications. This is a specification for introduction page. The type defines this component will take a markdown file, and the path point to the resource. This is a specification for consent page. It also takes a markdown file to render with two questions that require response from participants. These are defined by the response keyword. The training component is not taking markdown file. It is a web page component. So in this case, it is a simple website written in HTML with a video tag. Next, this is the config file for main study trial. This part specifies the path to an interactive adjacent metrics visualization. And the following part specifies the question participants are required to answer. Towards the end of this specification file, we can specify the experiment flow by ordering all components we previously defined in this sequence array. In addition, inside each trial, there may be multiple tasks, so we can also specify their orders in the same pattern. Last but not least, we can add metadata for each experiment and each task by meta keyword. We have checked the study specification grammar. Let's move to the supported stimuli and component types. Currently, reVISit supports 4 types of resources: image, markdown file, website, or React component. The reVISit supports various response types, including dropdown, Likert, text input, and many more. Here are examples of them. With the specification file and supported resources, reVISit will compile and deploy the entire experiment for you. The experiment can be deployed to GitHub pages by simple configurations. This is a screen recording of a participant taking this study, compiled and published by reVISit. Next, I would like to talk about the extra features the reVISit framework provided to assist experiment building. A big pain point when we build experiments is the debugging process. If we want to check a certain trial, we usually need to go through the experiment flow step by step. In reVISit, users could activate this admin mode from the side panel. Then they could navigate through the experiment stage or trials freely. This debugging tool aims to improve the efficiency for experiment debugging. Moving to the next stage, I would like to talk about the data management and the provenance tracking feature reVISit provided. When we talk about the data, one part is that study data mainly includes answers from participants. The provenance data is also very important, especially for a study about interactive data visualization. The provenance data are data like action history, interaction history, and study progress. reVISit integrated the track library, a library that is in charge of study provenance tracking. So provenance data will be automatically recorded in reVISit. The second feature reVISit has it built in is the data management. Experiment builders could use the offline storage solution in which data will be stored in the browser. Or researchers could use a cloud database solution. All data will be saved to a file store the researcher provided. Last but not least, reVISit aims to provide the end-to-end tool for empirical study. The reVISit team has built an analytic interface in 2021 with the same name, and a more powerful data analysis platform is in progress. In summary, the reVISit is a toolkit and a framework that help to construct experiments. It provides low-code solution to build experiment flow and experiment component. In addition, it provides debugging tools, built-in data management, and provenance tracking features. The upcoming visual editor and the new analysis interface will make reVISit a more powerful tool for researchers. Let's bring back the challenges in building experiments for empirical studies. reVISit has already solved a lot of them. By using reVISit, experiment settings can be shared by config files, and other researchers can reconstruct, duplicate, or extend the studies much easier than before. reVISit also provides the end-to-end support for experiment building, improves the development efficiency a lot. Welcome to visit our website to check details and the demos. And welcome to my presentation. Thank you.